Vulture City, ghost town in Maricopa County, Arizona, former mining town and host to the Vulture City ParaCon, a vault of stories, and the first leg in this journey. Who could ask for a better time to go hunting for tales?
Pleasure to meet you. I'm the wandering scribe, collector of stories. Everyone has a story, and I'd like to hear yours.
So, I'm Brian Clune, and I am a member of Planet Paranormal, Investigations, and Radio. And I also write a blog under the title The Paratraveler, and what that's for is to so people can go to my blog, learn about different towns, and they can do their own paranormal weekend. I tell them where they can stay that's haunted, places to eat that's haunted, and things to do in the neighborhood that are haunted. So if that's your thing, go to brianclune.com. Yes, that's shameless self-promotion right here. So I thought I would tell a couple stories about two relatively well-known haunted locations in California. One, the Queen Mary, which I think most people have heard of, and the other one I know most people have heard of, and that's Alcatraz. So I'll start off with the Queen Mary. There's two different quick stories for there. In 2009, my buddy and I, Bob Davis, were at a paranormal convention that Dave Schrader was putting on. And everybody was kind of kicking back after dinner, so Bob and I decided to go down to the first class pool and just see if we could get a hold of Jackie. She's the 5-6-year-old little girl who drowned in, we believe, 1946 in the second class pool. So as we were heading down to the pool, we actually heard her before we could even get into the pool. We heard her yakking away, and we believe maybe to the lady in white. So when we went in there, Bob, who has this weird connection with Jackie, kept trying to get her to call him Uncle Bob. And she started yelling out, this is all audible, this was not EVP, "No, you're not my uncle!" And I mean, at the top of her lungs. Now, back then, I was a little bit more skeptical than I am now. And I was literally running around the pool trying to find where this little girl was hiding who was yelling at us. And so I went outside the pool onto our deck, and there was a group of people at a table, and they were selling books. And I went out there, and I'm like, "Did you see a little girl? Did a little girl come out of the pool? A little dead girl?" And I said it just like that. One of the people that was selling the books picks up a book, holds it up to me with this frightened look on her face, and I look at the book. They were selling Bibles. And here I am asking if they have seen a little dead girl. Needless to say, I just made a hasty retreat, went back into the pool, and kind of just listened to Bob and Jackie kind of yelling at each other, which was kind of humorous. And we actually have that audio on the QueenMaryShadows.com if anybody wants to listen to Jackie and Bob going at each other. Another incident at the Queen Mary was the following year at Dave's other convention. He did a couple conventions there, and it was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were all breaking for lunch, and I wasn't hungry, so I went down to a section called the Green Room, which is literally right underneath the the first class pool. You can look up and actually see the bottom of the pool from where the Green Room is. Now there's a spirit down there by the name of John Henry, and my team, having an office on board, we were down there sometimes 7 days a week, and we literally got to know most of the spirits on the ship. So there's a little wooden railing outside the Green Room, and I'm leaning on it, and kind of being a smart ass, I kind of call out and I say, and basically with this tone of voice, "So, John Henry, did you miss me?" And I said it just like that. Kid you not, right after I say that, I feel something grab my arm. Now, it wasn't hard, it wasn't a hard grab. It was a light grab, and right in my ear, I hear somebody go, "Get out." And it was one of those get outs, like you would do to your friend who's just been giving you a hard time. Nothing serious. And it was just kind of like, okay, I guess he didn't like it. Naturally, I kind of got out because it was a little bit surprising. But that's one of my all-time favorites. So just the way he responded to me, almost as if, just get out of here, type of thing. So that, that was kind of cool. Now, Alcatraz was anything but, I don't want to say not pleasant, but it was anything but friendly. I'm going to relate one story. This was in 2009. My team spent the night on Alcatraz in 2009 and 2010. The activity in 2009 was incredible. In 2010, not so much. So it was about, I'd say 4 o'clock in the morning, and we were up in the medical isolation ward. It has a normal door to get in that just happens to have bars, but when you go in, there's a room to your left, one straight ahead, one to your right. The one on the left and straight ahead, they were using for storage because you really couldn't get in there. So we went to the one in the right. I'm going to try and make this quick. So we did an EVP session. We were in there 15, maybe 20 minutes. Really didn't think we were getting anything. As we walked out the main door, I had to change batteries, and we started hearing something moving back where we were in the isolation ward. So we go back in, and the metal folding chairs we had been sitting in had been moved. So we're like, oh, okay. So we sit down again, do another EVP session, maybe for 10, 15 minutes this time. And again, it just didn't feel like there was anything there. So again, we get up, we walk out. This time, before we could even get out the door, we hear the chairs move again. Like, okay, so we go back in. Now the chairs were back in the original spot from when we first went in there. So we try one more time. Bob is asking questions. One of the things that he says is, he goes, if you don't want us in here, just tell us to leave and we'll leave. So right after he says that, my buddy Ash, it was myself, Ash, and his wife Laurel. Now Ash was a very large man. He was sitting in one of these metal chairs, and right after Bob says that, about you want us to leave, Ash's chair goes, and it slides back about 3 feet, hits the wall. Ash gets knocked onto the floor, and as the chair was sliding, we hear somebody go, "Get out." We did. I mean, that was one thing that was like, all right, how does, and I'd say Ash was probably about 300 pounds. How does a 300-pound man in a folding chair slide across the floor, hit a wall, and get knocked out? So needless to say, we were a little bit like, yeah, maybe we should leave. So, yeah. I do have more from everything, but I could take up a lot of your time just babbling away.
Well, thank you for your time, and if there's anything else you'd like to tell anyone over here, online, you already plugged yourself a little bit, but please don't feel afraid to plug it more.
I am definitely going to plug myself. I am a author. I have 13 books, 12 of which are paranormal. So go to Amazon, brianclune.com.